What's going on, everybody? So this is my Godox ES45 LED light panel. I own 3 of these to light up my studio here, which is an extremely low light environment. Now I'm going to tell you guys how I use a 3-point lighting system to get the lighting I have illuminating this shot. If that's something you may be interested in, stick around. Let's get into it. So I feel like I need to just give you guys a disclaimer. I don't claim to be a guru at anything. I'm just a guy in his garage, just built like a live stream studio over the years, and I've tinkered around, and maybe some of these things could be useful and beneficial for you. I'm always open to learn. So if you think that you know some tips, some tricks, some suggestions and advice that you could pass along to me to make what I'm doing even better, I welcome it. Drop it in the comments below. After all, that's how we all learn, evolve, and become better at what we're doing, right? So yeah, I welcome it. Anyways, let's get into this, man. Let's talk about this 3-point system. So like I was saying, I use the Godox ES45. I know a lot of people out there use the Elgato keyframe lights, and that's awesome. But I chose to go with Godox for a couple of reasons. One is the price point. You can pick up the ES45 for about $139 on Amazon. One of the big reasons I went with the Godox is simply because it actually comes with a remote. Now you can use this remote to increase, decrease the brightness. You can also add more cool temperatures or warmer temperatures. It goes from 2800K to 6500K. You can set it over by your Rodecaster Pro 2 or somewhere on your desk, and you'll always have access to your light as long as it's charged. And if it needs to be charged, just pop it on the back while it's plugged in, and it charges really quick. Good to go. It also comes with this really cool desk mount that is expandable. You could take this thing from here to a much longer length, and I really don't think that you would need anything higher than this. To give you an idea, I don't know what the actual length on this is, but I imagine this is fairly long. 41 inches. So we're talking over 3 feet, just under 4 feet. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
So as you can see how I have my lights set up, I just wanted to show you guys on camera. Now, if you're actually sitting in front where I sit here, you can tell that these lights are actually positioned in a way that they're not full on facing me, right? Let me show you guys this one as well. It's not full on facing me, and there's a reason for that. So for whatever reason, Godox doesn't have a softbox honeycomb grid attachment for the ES45. I think they should. If anybody from Godox actually sees this, make that please. This is why I have to turn my lights from that to this, basically. Because what I'm trying to control is the overspill of light coming out of the 2 Godox that are over here, right? So if you look closely, you can actually see a little overspill right in here. And if you look right there, you can see some overspill there. Now I get that to the common person that watches videos, they don't even pay attention to that. More than likely they're looking at the background, but they're also watching me, or they're watching the subject that's in focus on camera. But however, soon I am going to step my game up even more. I want to try out the Godox SL60W, which is basically an overhead light, and you can get attachments for it, like a huge soft box with a big honeycomb grid on it, and isolate the lighting onto just the subject, right? It's a little bit more for like cinematography kind of stuff, interviews, things of that nature. And it's a vast difference from, say, an LED panel key light. Never mind. Look, I'm over here daydreaming. Let me get back to why I was making this video. So I've showed you guys the 2 Godox ES45s that I'm using. There is a 3rd light that I use as a rim light, but before I show you what that does, let's play with some settings on the Godox ES45s. You might notice a difference. When I'm live streaming, I turn these lights down a lot, right? Now, if I'm doing product reviews or a video like I'm doing right now, I turn them up. At least I'll turn this one up. Right now, the one to my right is like 11%. Now, usually if I'm doing the videos like I'm doing right now, I'll be about somewhere in here. And I tried to leave this light to my left, which just turned off, down to about 1. The reason I do that is I'm trying to create the softbox effect. Obviously, it's not working that well. Now, you can let me know in the comments below what settings you like the best. You could go with something like this. I just don't feel like that's necessary for live streaming. So I go down to about, say, maybe 10, 18, somewhere in there. So somewhere about like right here is where I would be, and then I would turn this side down to here. I mean, because if you're live streaming, you don't need to be so lit up. There's people live streaming that are almost in the dark, right? So you don't got to take it so serious. So something like this would probably be my live stream setting. And let's take a look at some of the temperature difference here. So let's just turn this here to say we are at 3300K right now. Let's go all the way blue, right? So this is a hard blue. Some people might like that contrast. I tend to lean more towards the warm side myself. I mean, if you think that this might look okay, like if you actually prefer it, let me know in the comments below. All right, we are going to start dialing into the warmer side now. So we're gonna drop down to like 28K, or what is the, yeah, 28K is the final drop. And I gravitate towards this look. I think that when in combination with the light that's to my right, we'll drop that down to 28K. Some people might like this look and prefer this look. On playback, I normally find that I'm a little too yellow or orange looking. So I usually bump this light to my right up to 3300K, and we'll bump this one up to 3300K as well. I mean, actually, I usually just leave this one on all the way 28K and then drop the number down to just 1%, trying to create some shadows, you know? So I'm not sure which looks best. When I switch cameras, I usually have to adjust the settings, because if you want to try to mimic the light, and you only have one light on this side, one light on this side, I'll show you the difference here. We'll look at camera 2. Now you can see that this might look perfectly fine, and that's because the light above camera 2 is at 22%, running at 3300K. Now if we switch to the camera on the left here, you see that this whole side of my face got darker, and it just feels like I switched sets. So normally what I would have to do is bump this camera up to say 3300K, and then bring it up to somewhere about in here maybe, so that it has this, you know, it kind of dials in with the rest, as you can see. So that kind of feels like it fits now, right? Kind of, sort of. I mean, it will never be perfect. You just have to give up on the idea of perfect, okay? It's not, you can't, it's just not attainable. Perfect is a lie. Let's do a brightness test. Right now we're 17% and we're just cranking. We're cranking, we're cranking. I'm waiting to see the overexposure. Oh yeah, dude, there it is. That's 100% right there. So let's go on to the light on my left. Let's go up, 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 and away. 100%. I think it's safe to say that we're a bit overexposed here. Voila, back to normal. I'm sure this is way better than being crazy overexposed, but let's get back into the rim light that I was talking about earlier. So my rim light is just a clamp on desk light. Nothing fancy. And it's an LED bulb. It's capable of all colors, right? And I have it shining down on me. There's a shelf that runs back here behind me, and it's clamped to the shelf, and it's just spotlighting dead on me. So let's see what it looks like if I turn it off. Now, the entire thing, the concept of a rim light is that it separates I'm mid-ground, right? This is all foreground, and this is background. So you're basically separating me from the background. When the light turns on, there's two things that happen, right? It casts the light upon my shoulders, my hat, things like that, which also helps separate me from the background. But if you take a look, the desk back here also gets illuminated, which also helps to separate me from the background. One more time. It's just subtle, but effective, right? And I've got this thing turned down a little bit. I can turn it up a little more if I want. I can go all the way up. That's full brightness. I could go blue if I wanted to go blue, which I just feel like looks a little too much. You could go pink. For those of you that like pink, you can go full red, right? You can go orange, which looks a little more natural, like with the orange, right? And you can go yellow. I usually go in like this green area because my entire studio is kind of like purple, pink, blue. So if I actually put a little green onto me, I feel like that just adds another separation, another form of separation. So this is how I've set up my studio. I imagine, bro, listen, I got ADD. I bounce around. I imagine this was confusing. I hope this might help somebody, but I doubt it. And that's probably what you can come to expect of me. Just a guy who tinkers. I'm not a professional of anything, but listen, If you enjoyed the video, I guess, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, sub the channel, that kind of stuff. Everything I'm supposed to say. And well, enjoy the rest of your day, night, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you are. And we'll catch you next time. So take care.